Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am excited to bring you another video. We're going to be making this really fun card. It's a fun fold, and I like to call it a tag topper fun fold. You get to see the inside of the card on the outside, and it is just a really fun card to make. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be using the Let's Set Sail stamp set, and this is my 6th video in this series, and it is my last one. But you can go to my blog and check out all my projects. There's also links to my other videos on this series. This Let's Set Sail is part of a bundle where you can also get the punch to go with it. I'm not using the punch today, but 5 of my other videos do use it, so definitely check it out. I'm going to be using the Let's Set Sail with the Gentle Waves background stamp today, and that's what I use to do this wave right here on the tag. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move these stamp sets out of our way so that we can make our card. So I'm going to work on this first just to get this piece out of the way. And it is our Gentle Waves background. It is a super cool background if you're going to get any stamp sets that have to do with the ocean, the water, because it's super pretty. We don't need much of it, only a portion, and I'm going to ink this section up. So before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and cut away this bottom section. I like to use, when I have a large piece like this tailored tag punch to do that. So I'm going to stick it in here, and I'm just going to hold it in place. And when I punch that piece out, there is the really cool flag end. So if you don't have this punch, it works for lots of different things. It's awesome. I'm also going to show you how to use this punch when we do our little blue piece right here. So let's go ahead and knock that out, and then we'll go ahead and stamp this. So this gets put in this channel. It's a 1/2 inch channel. You can do 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. And so you stick it in the channel there, and you give it a little punch, and there is that one. So those are 2 ways that you can get that cute banner end onto your card and projects. So I'm going to move this one out of the way till we need it. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Let me pull it out of the channel here so you guys can see. We're only going to need a portion of it, so I'm going to use this side right here. I'm just going to ink that up, and then I'm going to lay this, whoops, I'm losing my mind, on here. Now this is a piece of our deluxe mat. It comes like this. It's foam on the back, and it works really good with our clear stamps. This is a red rubber stamp, but what I like about it is that it wipes off really easily. So I'm going to go ahead and position it. I want to make sure that I capture most of that. I'm going to bring it down slightly, a little bit more, and then we're going to go ahead and press. And I'm just going to use a circular motion and put pressure on this part. You can also use your palm and press down. I'm going to lift it really carefully. Looks good. So I'm going to bring it forward here, let that piece go, and I'm going to clean off with a baby wipe. So let's go ahead and lift this piece off. And this is why I like this deluxe mat, because I can just wipe it off. I'm also going to use the same baby wipe to clean this large stamp. All right. So this is our Stamparatus, and it is super awesome. You get 2 plates, and it's used for many different things, not just background stamps. If you have a 2-step stamp, you can position it. You actually have 4 surfaces. There's grids on here. It's a whole thing. So I will definitely be doing a video on our Stamparatus and how awesome it is. But for right now, you got to see one of the uses. All right, so for this tag fun fold card here, tag topper fun fold card. You need a piece of 4 1/4 by 7 3/4 inch, and I have Night of Navy here. I'm going to be scoring it at 5 1/2 inches, and I already have done that, but this is at the 5 1/2 inch, and when you do that, that's how you get your little end. So I'm gonna go ahead and burnish it to get that piece to lay flat for me. All right, and on the inside, it's a piece of Balmy Blue that's 4 by 5 1/4 inches. So that's what we're gonna use, and we're gonna start stamping on this. I'm just gonna set this off to the side until we need it. So I'm gonna start with Balmy Blue again, and I'm gonna take this long stamp that comes in our Let's Set Sail stamp set. I'm gonna grab a little scrap paper because we're gonna go off the end, and I don't want it to go onto my mat that I put down when I stamp. And we're going to use this pointed piece, and as you can see, the stamp's going to hang off, so I'm going to go ahead and press it down, and that is going to start our water across the bottom. That's what I needed that to grab. Now we're done with it, so we'll move it out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp in my chamois, and I just have it in an old stamp case. You don't have to do that. You can actually just keep it and wipe it over the top of your stamps. All right. Now let's use Smoky Slate, and we're going to do the boat bottom and this mast, I believe is the proper terminology. So we're going to put our boat over here. There we go. It's on the water. And let's go ahead and do some cute seagulls kind of right above the boat there. We are also going to stamp on this circle. I'm going to move this to the side. We'll stamp the sails in a second because I want to finish with that. So with our Balmy Blue again, I'm going to bring that back in. We're going to stamp our words that say, hope it's your best day ever. And I want you to know I've used the layering circles. This is what they look like. They're amazing. And that's the one, the third largest circle, because this is the biggest, the next biggest, that's the third biggest. So the third largest circle. We're going to stamp our words in the center here. Hope it's your best day ever. And then I'm going to use the Balmy Blue one more time. Smoky Slate one more time. And I'm going to do some seagulls flying off above that. Set that to the side. And we also have this, so we're working on our parts and pieces so that we can put together our card. So the last thing we need to stamp are the sails, and so the sails are going to be in Night of Navy, the same color as our background cardstock. The funny and awesome thing about Stampin' Up is that the papers and the inks match each other perfectly. It's my very favorite thing about Stampin' Up, and what drew me to the company over 20 years ago when I was working at a scrapbook store teaching classes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach our sail, and hopefully it will fit. We're going to do our best. So there's that one, and let's do the other. Hopefully I don't have my head in the camera. If I do, I'm sorry. So there's our sailboat. All right, that's the last of the stamping. Let's go ahead and clean those, and then we can start assembling our card. All right, so we're going to attach this piece. I'm using our seal adhesive. All right, we're going to put this in the bottom section of our card here, leaving approximately the same amount of border all the way around. There we go. We're going to place this piece here, and we want this end to fall about where the water is. So right about there should be good. I am going to put some seal right here, and then we'll put some on the top, and then we can lay it down. And hopefully I got it in the right spot here. Yep, I do. And we'll go ahead and put that piece into place. Now we're going to attach our circle. Looks pretty good so far, right? So let's go ahead and put some seal on our circle. All right. So it's very sticky, but I love it. So we're gonna use this and place our words up here. Oh, let me grab my take your pick tool. We're not going to use the pointy end, the spatula end, because I totally forgot that I had to stick this underneath. I want it a little shorter, I think. Yeah, right there. All right. Sorry guys, I got excited putting this card together, so I want to make sure that it's straight. All right, now we can stick it down. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive underneath it so it doesn't actually flap up. I'm going to lift it, and I'm going to run a line of wet adhesive back there. All right. And then the last thing we have to do is a ribbon. So I have a little 6-inch or so piece of twine, and this twine comes in a pack. There's 3 different colors. There's a green, there's a red and white, and then there's this blue, and all 3 of those work perfect with this stamp set. So definitely check it out. It's in my online catalog. So I'm going to pull on these loops. I like when they're real small because I just think they're the cutest bows when they're so little like this. Okay, so that's good. This is the pack. You get those 3. They're called Fan Baker's Twine, and they're awesome. So check them out. I'm going to use a mini glue dot to attach this to my card. So let me find one on my roll here. There we go. Switch back to my pointy end. And we will roll this up into a little ball so we can put it behind the knot on. There we go. Can you guys see that? I hope so. All right. So let's make it just a tiny bit bigger. I got a little carried away, didn't I? I just think they're so cute when they're small. So let's make it just a little bit bigger. I'm gonna pull on the loops a little. There. All right. We're gonna press this onto that knot. And hopefully it stays stuck there, not to my finger. It did. And I'm gonna go ahead and attach it right over in the center of that smaller flagged piece of cardstock. And I kind of like it long. I think it looks pretty, so I'm just going to leave the ends long. If you want them shorter, you can cut them. I just like how they look. And that is it, except for the embellishments. So let me pull the embellishments out. We're using the classic matte dots, and they come in white, vanilla, gray, and black. I haven't used any of the black yet, but I have used the other 3 colors. I am going to use gray this time to tie in that smoky slate water banner there. And so we're going to get one of the large ones right here, and we'll put it right on this piece. That looks good. And then we'll use the 2 blue, small ones up here on this Night of Navy section. That looks pretty awesome. So 3 is a good number. It always is complementary to the eye when you have 3. So definitely check out these classic matte dots. They're super awesome. All these items can be found on my online store, and I have linked them in the description below. If you are interested in more content from me, I do blog every day, and you can go to my blog at inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I have linked that also in the description below. Right here is my blog name. And I appreciate you coming and watching me. Let me give you the dimensions one more time. So this base of Night of Navy is 4 1/4 by 7 3/4, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2 inches on the long side. The Balmy Blue for the inside is 4 by 5 1/4. This section of Smoky Slate cardstock, which I stamped with Smoky Slate, and that beautiful, beautiful Gentle Waves background, is 2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then I went ahead and used that tailored punch to punch that out. The basic white circle, I use a 2.5 by 2.5 inch piece, and then I just cut it, or just a scrap piece. And then the balmy blue little strip here is 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. And I think I used either 6 to 8 inches of this twine. So those are the dimensions. I hope that you've enjoyed my video. Thanks for hanging out with me till the end. And this is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!